Greetings, beloved brothers and sisters. Many, many years ago, I used the metaphor and the analogy of the difference between building a house on sand and building it on rock. And of course, building it on sand looks good for a while until the surf comes in and shifts the sand and the foundation upon which the house is standing crumbles. And so the house crumbles. But a house built upon rock is impervious to the weather and the shifting sands and the tides. And this metaphor is still very apt today. I ask you now to look at, what are you standing on? What are you standing on? So much of human relationships depend on consistency. If you pass by someone and one day they say, "Good morning, how are you?" and the next day they just look down and ignore you, and then the next day they're friendly, and then the next day they're angry, something about the relationship is disturbed. And your tendency would be, I don't want to be around this. I can't predict what will happen. And it's true about going into a hair salon. It's true about anything. If you don't have a certain consistency, you don't trust, your future looks very uncertain. So we all unconsciously are looking for consistency. A car that always starts, air conditioning that always works, water that runs from the tap consistently. And little by little, we stand on that. That becomes our foundation. The consistency of everything we've gotten used to. When you're young, you count on the consistency of your body. I can rely on this body. I can run, I can jump, I can reach, I can stretch, I can lift. And I'll be as strong today as I was yesterday. And as you get older, little by little, and sometimes suddenly, the consistency that you rely upon goes away. All of a sudden, the body is not as consistent in its performance as it was. And even the institutions that you counted on to be impervious to politics and the ups and downs start to seem shaky and inconsistent. As it turns out, because the world is of the ego, it is also co-opted by the ego. There is nothing sacred in the world that you live in. Nothing that you can really count on. Everything that you rely on can change and will change, including your body, and including whatever it is that you identify with that is not true. There is only one thing that is the rock, and that's who you really are. That's the only thing you can rely on, moment to moment to moment. It's who you really are. You are of God. You are good itself that has no bad as a counterpart. You are this present moment, and you are everywhere. You are here now. That is your foundation. Over time, you may rely on institutions and governments and principles and constitutions to be your support, to be your foundation, to be something you can believe in. But as the present times will show you, nothing that is not real can last. My recommendation is that you center yourself in who you are and let the institutions crumble. Let the things that you think you need go. And allow yourself to be provided for, much the way the lilies of the valley, or the birds in the sky, the squirrels are provided for. Do not lose your sense of humor or your sense of reasonableness. But allow yourself to be more and more centered on the only thing that can really support you, and that's love itself. Be the love that you are, and be strong in that. And the other things that fall apart and change and shift will just be amusing and interesting, fascinating, but not particularly concerning. Stay with your foundation. It is your true identity, love itself. I love you, and I'm with you forever. Yeshua.